Hey guys, good to see you.
Hey.
What's going on, Lucas?
Nothing much, just trying to pass time during a complete lockdown.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, it's just awesome that we were able to make this collab happen with everything that's going on, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I remember writing this hook ages ago, and the
Yeah.
first time I was sent like you guys' production, I was just so stoked that someone had taken like a lyric I wrote and turned it into something beautiful.
Well, it was cool because so when we got the lyric, like the hook from you, it just like it hit us really hard, you know, with everything going on. We're like, you know what, this is like very right now. It hit us in the heart, in our hearts, you know, just like trying to like really spend time with your family and like you know, like focus on the good times and the simple times and all that. You know, it was a no-brainer that we had to cut it.
Nothing really changed from the first track you guys sent me to the one that we did a music video to. It's like
Yeah.
if the sound was just there.
It was cool. And then when we got Wiz on it, kind of just had a whole different other dimension, you know, like just seeing the song like come to life over the last like year and a half was crazy.
For me, it was always just, it's like my father died when I was like 23, 24, like 10 days before my birthday. And
Sorry to hear that.
and it's just, that's the way it is. Like you have your life until you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam can relate too. Sam lost his father at a very young age.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, Sam.
The time when I was a teenager, and it was right around my birthday too. Interesting. And it was definitely you can really understand that emotion. I think it's like those kind of life experiences, especially when we heard that hook, and then like the world started shutting down. It just kind of felt like it was the right song for the right time, you know. And it really definitely brought out the music and the chords. I know when we were working on the track, it really felt right. The emotion was just like it's really making it a connection to the times.
And speaking of that stuff, it's like I remember watching the movie Click. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Click, Lucas.
Yeah, the
Adam
Adam
Sandler
Sandler one.
When I saw that movie, I was like, you know what? It just got me thinking like, oh my God, like I was in tears at the end of that movie. I'm like, I need to spend more time with my family. And I remember about 2 years before my grandfather passed away, something just literally clicked in my brain. I remember talking to Alex about it. Like, dude, we need to spend more time with grandpa. Like he comes over for the summers and we just like, he sits in the room watching TV. Like we got to spend time with him. Like I remember we started taking him out for burgers in town because he loves cheeseburgers. We were taking him all these different spots. And I would just like sit on the couch with him, watch movies. And I really like made a huge effort to spend so much time with him. And then when he ended up, you know, passing away, like I was able to reflect on that and be grateful for the time that I spent with him. And I think that the music video kind of, you know, it kind of tickled those heartstrings a little bit, like showing like the families and like the overworked father who's just working all the time. Like we could all relate when we're working in the studio, just nonstop, constantly like, oh, leave me alone. I'm working on a studio. You know, like, or our dad would come in. Like our dad would come in because we had a home studio. Our dad would come in and literally be like, "So what are you guys working on?" Alex would be like, "Get out of here! It's not finished yet." And it's like it's
under the bridge. Like I look up.
You know, it's like these like where you become this creature of like, you know, technology and like just like your own little bubble. And sometimes you got to like snap out of it. Like, dude, like that's your father like asking you like what you're working on. You know, like come on, like get with it. He's not going to be there all the your whole life.
I mean, I brought my father touring.
That's awesome.
That's
like
awesome.
Like the last year, it was 2012 when he passed away. And I remember he'd go on tours with us. But this one time when our merchandise girl, Mary, she'd gotten sick. And my dad was like in the crowd, it was like 700 people selling Lucas Graham t-shirts. And like me and him going to a bar afterwards and me being like, yeah, I remember going to the smithy where he restored like antique ovens and sold them for a living and like banging on metal with him when I was like a little kid. And suddenly, like, I was bringing my dad to work with me. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. It really, you know, I just think we did such a good job with the video, like shining on that, you know, and that emotion. And I think people can relate right now, you know, and it's the one good thing that came out of this whole like crazy thing that happened is that we can all, you know, spend time with one another and bring it back to the basics of just human interaction and, you know, putting our phones down and just making that connection again, you know.
My youngest daughter is 9-10 months now and my oldest is 4.5, so I've been like a real dad like for the last year. Like I haven't traveled anywhere for the last year, but at the same time I just know that I'm going to go back on the road. I'm going to go back singing my songs because one day it will be too late. Like the songs will be sung, like the curtain's gonna like come to a close. Like if we're unlucky, people will stop listening to what we do way before we're done touring and performing. And
Yeah.
if we're lucky, we'll still be performing like right up until we die.
I mean, dude, the metaphor that you made in that, I don't even know if it was intentional. Like when I heard it, like the whole when the curtains close, you know, like that's like when your eyes, you know, when it's over. And then when we saw the stage, like it was just like, oh my God, so good, so good the way it came together.
Yeah, how was the theater that you filmed in? It looks amazing on video.
Yeah.
On the film.
Yeah, it's a funny story because we had a whole like the Royal Theatre booked in the capital, but we had to shoot the video like right around when Copenhagen was being locked down again, and everything was like no go, so we couldn't go into the big Royal Theatre that I was looking forward to filming, and so we actually drove to one of the provinces like an hour and a half away from the capital, and film. It's a tiny little theater. It sits like 540 people.
Wow.
And the way Adam, the photographer, he just flipped it. He was like, yeah, we'll just angle it like this and we'll light it up like that.
It looks
and
huge.
We're like, no one's ever gonna know, so
yeah,
check it out, and maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. But I just love the shots that we got from there, and one of my like key things was like I just wanted like the whole like the curtain coming down with me walking away from the front of the stage and chatting to the guys that you had do the music video. It's like we shot so much content in that theater for me to be in the video for like, I don't know, 20 seconds in total.
same.
But it's like that's the way you have to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's better to have too much.
So we heard that you do a lot of donations and stuff, like in Denmark, a lot of local stuff with homeless people, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of like food delivery stuff and like homelessness awareness, just because I feel it's one of the easier way to help. Like without having to do a lot, you can do something for someone right outside your doorstep. And yeah, I grew up in a house without a toilet or a bathroom, so I know the struggle of getting like from basic necessities up to something a little more than average, you know.
Totally. That's awesome. We do a lot of work with St. Jude actually, and we're going to try to connect the whole thing with like just like the video and the promo campaign to donating to St. Jude's, because it's such a good cause over there. I mean, it's just what they're doing. We went there and actually saw everything that was happening, and we played for the kids, and it was just something that we were like, we have to be a part of this and stay a part of it. So we're going to be donating to St. Jude's for this campaign. We're going to start it at $10,000. And we want to let everyone know that they can get involved. Just clicking that button right there. I think it's down low. Or
there's a little donation link to the side of the screen, I believe. And yeah, when I heard you guys were doing that, I couldn't help but being like, yeah, well, great, let's do it.
They always say once you have kids, it's not about you anymore. It becomes about them. And I don't know if that's true, but you would let us know.
We were just looking at pictures. We were just looking at photos, and me and the missus were like looking at these photos, and we realized we weren't looking at pictures of us anymore. We were looking at pictures of our kids with us in them.
Yeah.
And it's strange, but it's cool, especially for me as a frontman artist, like touring all over the world. Like I've been so important to so many people for so long. My touring crew, my band, like people listening on stage and streaming from home. It's nice to have something to do where I just don't matter. It's like there's two little lovely girls that deserve my everything every day.
Agreed. I mean, we've done so many family dinners in the last year, more family dinners in the last year, I think, than like the last 10 years probably, just being away, always on the road. And
I know so many holidays, just like being on tour, you know.
Yeah, being home for the holidays, it's really great. It's been good. Hopefully soon, you know, it's on its way out, and hopefully these vaccines kick in, and sooner or later we'll be bringing live music back to people's hearts, and you know, giving people hope and something to do again, you know.
Yeah, in the meantime, it's just about writing more music. I'm super stoked to be on this to help you guys raise money for St. Jude's. Thank you. When I roll through, I'm gonna go visit myself. I've done a few hospital tours and performances. It's I had a little girl with tubes coming out of everywhere. One of the things was we weren't allowed to talk about who had what, but I just remember this little girl asking me if she could sing with me.
Wow.
and like just singing with her while she was wheezing her way through like
Oh wow.
the song. And
Yeah.
it was so beautiful. She sang every single lyric to 7 Years with like the breaths in the right places, and like it
Oh
was so
wow.
beautiful. Yeah, her parents just basically broke down crying because they didn't know if they were gonna leave the place, you know.
Yeah. It was definitely hard for us when we were playing for the kids at St. Jude. It was hard to hold it together, but you know, you got to be strong. You got to be strong
Yeah.
for them so they can be strong.
Yeah,
And
and
Yeah.
really, really inspirational. I mean, they got like the positivity in that place is awesome. Like they have such
yeah.
attitudes, and like the whole group there is amazing.
I mean, this song in general though, like I think it's gonna give people hope. Like I think that it's gonna radiate like the emotion of the video and the emotion of the song. It's gonna make people like self-reflect even more. Like, you know, like when they wake up in the morning and get out of bed, like, or sleeping late, like, am I making the best of my life right now? Like, is there something else I should be doing? Like, you know, should I call my cousin? Should I call my uncle? Should I get together with my best friend that I haven't spoken to in a year and make things right with them, or whatever it might be? I think everyone's gonna have their own like attachment to the song for whatever might be going on in their lives, and because I know it happened to me, you know. And I even so someone at our record label actually recently hit me up. He's one of the guys that works in promo, and he's like, dude, he's like, I was watching that video, and I'm like, and he's like, that's me. He's like, that dad is me. And I was like, dude, that dad is me too. And like, you know, there's just something that I think we did really well that I hope it plays a positive impact like on people's lives all over the world when they see it.
And I hope I hope you guys watching the video on the premiere, don't refresh this link, don't click away. It's like the music video is coming like in a minute.
Yes.
I hope you guys let us know like what part of the video or what lyric in the song, like what touches you, what
Yep.
makes you think about your life and maybe consider to do things differently. And maybe it reminds you that you're doing things the right way. Me, definitely hearing Wiz's words and the verses he spit, it was like, okay, I'm not doing everything right. It's like, and then yeah, it's hard to explain, but I know you guys know what I mean. But like, I love my job
totally.
and I love my family, and like that golden edge, like working enough but not too much and not too little, and like yeah, you can't spend too many mornings with your kids.
Yeah. When it came together in the bridge, like that was awesome when we did that last minute. Like when we cut up his first verse and put that whole bridge section together, and then had you singing over it on top of it at like the last minute. That just to me like drilled in the whole concept of the song, you know?
Yeah, when I got Wiz's verses sent over and I had everything and I'm recording like little ad libs, because what the hook you guys used is like the original demo take I did in Mustard Studio. You know that, right? Like we never touched it. Like it just sat so pristinely.
It was the demo take.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes you just can't beat demos. Like,
dude, it's the truth, man. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. There's been demo vocals where we're like, all right, the singer's gonna, you know, come over and punch a couple things, and then we're like, no, I think the scratch vocal is there for the win. You know, you add a couple, you know, harmonies and dubs and whatnot, but there's a magic sometimes on take one that you just can't beat. You know?
Oh, definitely. I have several songs like that. I have a whole take, a song called Funeral that was like, it was a whole take done on the day we wrote the song. I spent 2 days trying to beat it, couldn't.
A wise man said, perfection is the death of anything good. And I don't know, it kind of just stuck with me of just like, sometimes when I'm sitting there, like trying to over perfect, you know, whether it be a musical part or just a mix of something or anything in life, you know, like there's no beauty in perfection sometimes, you know, it's in the flaws and the imperfections and the human connection that you attach to something.
Yeah, I call the little mistakes on recordings on live shows, I call them like the margin of truth. It's like when you can hear someone's not doing it playback, like that's the margin of truth. And it's the same with live recordings. It's like it can become too nice.
Back to the video, I don't know about you, but for us, when we were on that stage looking out to that like empty, you know, theater of seats, that for me, I had a moment like, to me, that's like an artist's worst nightmare, you know, looking out into a venue with nobody in it. Like that's like that's what I think of as a nightmare. When people ask me like, what are your nightmares like? It's like when I have a nightmare, it's someone chasing me with a knife or me falling. You know, for me, it's looking out into the theater with nobody in it. And that's
clear the room.
And that's what this has been. That's the nightmare that this, like, you know, the last year, 2020 was for us, at least, you know, and not doing what we love and not being able to express ourselves and have that release.
What theater were you guys in, by the way?
Oh, I forgot.
It was called the Orpheum. That's it.
The Orpheum. Oh yeah, in
Yeah.
LA, yeah.
Mhm.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful,
cool,
like
yeah.
old theater. Had all the charm and like the magic, all the details on the
Yeah.
ceiling and
Yeah.
the stages. It was awesome.
Chandeliers and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome
I was
when
in a
this,
theater older than New York, like
Yeah.
like 400-year-old theater.
That's crazy.
once the world turns on again, it'd be awesome if we did a real show at the Orpheum. You know,
Oh,
got
yeah.
Wiz. If we did something with, you know, with Wiz and you, like, it'd be awesome. So we're actually going to be in the comments of the video talking to you guys. So let us know what you guys think, what your favorite part of the video is, or the song, or what lyric you know, really hits you. And let's get the flow going. Let's do it.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on the song. I'm very, very grateful to be on a song with you guys and Wiz.
Dude, thanks for being a part of it, man. We're really excited. So here it is, the video premiere of our song Too Late with Wiz Khalifa and Lukas Graham.